It's Monday, and depending on where you are, it could be a snowy, cold Monday evening. But we're heating things up in the man cave on the Flex Zone podcast, only place giving you sports how you want it when you need it. Episode 423. At number 23, we going hard like Jordan, as we are the GOAT of the podcast game. Big weekend in the NFL. We're going to recap it. Super Wildcard weekend. It's pretty much in the books. We're going to talk about it. All the overreactions, underreactions, and was there a choke job in Dallas? We know who the Ravens will be playing and when. And the Commanders have found their GM. We're going to preview the divisional round, and we are going to give our picks. Game ball, not so game ball, of course. Get goofy with Cravante, baby. It's Flex On Podcast, episode 423. Throw on your J's and listen to the hottest sports podcast in all the universe. Flex On Podcast, coming to you live. Heating things up hotter than the summertime, even though it's winter outside. Maybe snowing where you're at, raining, but the Flex Zone's about to heat things up in the man cave. It's just the only place fellas giving you sports how you want it.
When you need it.
Episode 423. Everything you need. Putting on our J's as we're doing it like Jordan. For number 23. 423 episodes. And we are still the head of the sports podcast table. Throw up your ones and acknowledge us. Make sure you check us out on all social media platforms. Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Flex On. And as always, on that TikTok. Got to get more active on TikTok. We know. The Flex On Podcast. And as always, if you want to be part of the show, ideas, want to be a guest, want to support what we do here, make sure you guys hit us up, flexon1@gmail.com. And as always, we will be talking about the NFL this week, Super Wildcard weekend recap, looking ahead to the divisional round, looking at the coaching news, a big retirement in the world of college football, which we actually are going to start with. And of course, we get goofy with Cravante as well. Big time show, episode 423. We appreciate you guys being there. If you are out and about in the local area, please be careful. Please be safe. We want everybody to get home safely, but if you are out and about, like I said, get home safe as you can. And if you are here listening to us, we appreciate you as well. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that bell, as we cannot do this show without you guys. And we appreciate all the love. Welcome all our new subscribers. Welcome all our new supporters to the channel. A lot of content on the channel. We're going to get into it momentarily as we kick things off with our social media producer. My man's been working hard. He's been giving us reactions. He's been talking about everything in the world of sports, whether he's in the car, whether he's at home. He is the man who makes the streams pristine. My boy, my brother, Big Raj in the building. What's going on, Big Raj? Let's get you up.
Finish him, Daddy.
No bread, no water, just meat.
You know what, man? Every time you do the finish from Dad, I keep thinking about the but don't worry about it. You don't know what that sound effect is just yet. But it's your boy Big Raj, back with another one. We about to talk this Ravens preview. Got to talk about my boy Nick Saban, finally caught in the career, and these NFL playoffs has been crazy. My goodness, crazy. So, yes, I am here. Big Raj is here, ready to talk sports.
Yes, Raj has a lot of content on the channel, as do we. So make sure you guys go check it out. If you want to donate, hit that Cash app, the Flex Zone 1. This next man is the captain of the Goofy ship. He is the Commandalorian. He's feeling a little bit better today. And in about 10 minutes, he's probably going to feel fantastic because the NFC East will be dead and gone. Just like, unfortunately, Kang in the Marvel Universe, Raj. But it is our boy, our brother, Cravante, baby. And I think this week he may feel a little Commander-esque because he is the Commander.
Those haters can't Fight for RDC, who are we? The Commander.
There
He's
he
gone.
is,
He is gone.
Cavante. Baby, and since your boy in here,
Yeah, all that. Yeah, man, it was a good week, man. We got a competent GM, so we got a competent guy that can lead the charge into the future, that knows what he's doing. Cowboys got trounced. Newsflash, heads up, goofy. But it's a norm in the sporting world. If you for those that don't know, it is there definitely a norm. And the Eagles are not looking great either. So I'm doing A-OK right now.
hey, when you're happy, brother, we are happy right along with you. Raj, unfortunately, it is the end of an era. Your boy, as you mentioned in the open, old Saint Nick Saban, the head coach at Alabama, 6 national titles there, 7 for his career, 1 at LSU. The GOAT, in my opinion, of college football coaching has hung it up. Kalen DeBoer, who actually coached at Washington, made it to the national championship this year, helped turn that franchise around or that program around, will be taking over. Raj, if you would love to give the people a roll tide before you get into your soliloquy, the floor is yours.
One last time for old Saint Nick. Tide. Oh yes, roll tide. It is over. You know, it's been a fun ride. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this brother Nick Saban, man, has been one of the greatest coaches in college football history, and it's going to be really, really bad, and really sucks that he's going to be, retiring. But it is his time to go. It is time for some new, fresh blood. I understand the last national championship we won was in 2020, and we haven't gotten the job done in the last 4 years. So, but you know what, man, he had a great run with Alabama. He put the college team on his back. He recruited some of the greatest players. Tua being one of them. Although he's not really playing really well in the NFL, but in college he was great. Jalen Hurts, who's playing right now, is about to get eliminated. At one point, he was cool too, and a plethora of other guys. You know what I'm saying, for the university. But it's just time, man. It does suck that he's leaving, but it's just time. And I understand, not every hero can go out with a national championship or just a championship in general. But sometimes you got to know when to hold them and you got to know when to fold them. And I mean, he did what he was supposed to do in college, man. He won 7 national championships. I mean, he got 11 SEC championships with him as well. So it is what it is, man. It sucks though, like I said before, because I like to troll D a lot, especially when it comes to Alabama. But yeah, man, it is what it is, and he'll be missed. He'll definitely be missed, and I'm pretty sure it's going to take Alabama a good while before they get back to the good graces of being great, but being great again. But yeah, man, it's time.
Cavante, from the outside looking in as a non-Alabama fan, what do you think about the retirement? And Kalen DeBoer, 49 years old, kind of the hot young candidate, and he was out on the first plane smoking right to Alabama with all that money they're going to have waiting for him, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. Nick Saban, and again, outside looking in, I was not Alabama fan in no way, shape, or form. I actually dislike Alabama a lot. And again, it's probably what most Alabama, probably more so the fans, because fans like that are very much front runners. They are the same fans that like the Yankees, the Duke, Lakers. A lot of Dre. It reminds me of Dre, which is probably why I dislike them even more. But I cannot lie. Nick Saban was a legend. Is a legend, and one of the best, if not the best. I'll say he's the best college football player. I mean, college football coach, in quite some time. Especially, obviously in recent memory. But y'all know what did him in? NIL. That's what did Nick Saban in. He used to run the show his way, and this NIL deals, all this NIL money, has transferred power to the young amateurs playing football. And it's hard to keep a team for 3 years now. You know what I'm saying? Because with the NIL deals and the transfer portal, it's like free agency for college football. And it's hard. It was hard for Nick Saban to adapt to that. And, you know, college football head coaches and staff, they work all year round anyway. So, you know, I think he just like, okay, hey, listen, I think this is about it. I've done all I can do. He has an outstanding resume that can go up against any coach in any sport. So, you know, I'm not going to say he'll be missed, because I'm not going to miss him. But he was great, and it was fun hating on Alabama while he was the head coach. Now I can move on to somebody else, because Alabama, like Rod said, it's going to take a minute for them to get back to glory, because they lost a legend, and also new guy, and he's complete. He's from Washington, right?
Yes, Washington head coach, 49 years of age. So it'll be interesting to see. And there was already a lot of transfers too, Cravante, like you mentioned, NIL transfer portal. So it'll be intriguing to see how the roster shakes out.
Nick Saban is used to doing things his way, and him being in charge, him being, you know, the head honcho and all that. And this NIL deal, the transfer portal, has jacked Nick Saban up. The fact that he made the college football playoffs this year was crazy enough. But I felt like he thought this was probably the best I could do with what all of what's going on. And putting that time and effort into this game is crazy. And I think Nick Saban's called it quits. Still surprising, but nonetheless, he is a legend. He will not be missed. And it was fun. It was fun watching and hating on Alabama while he was the head coach. Peace.
Damn it, he will be missed.
What did D call him? What did D call him? Oh, slick
Saban. That's what.
Slick Saban. Peace out, brother.
I think Alabama will still be pretty good, just to kind of hang on this for a second. They got the quarterback still. Milroe isn't going nowhere. I think he's going to be potentially a guy that's going to get drafted next year. I do think they're going to reload. You know, they got money. And the SEC, what do they play in the SEC West? Or they're in the East? Whatever SEC division they're in, they win it every year, even when they're having a down year. They always end up playing Georgia in the conference championship game. So we know Georgia's going to be there with Kirby Smart, who actually – there was rumors he might go back, but he's not leaving Georgia. Think about guys like Lane Kiffin that Nick Saban bought up. Like I said, Kirby Smart. Mike Locksley, Maryland head coach, was on his staff as well. So just some guys that you think about that he has groomed and really helped in his coaching game. The Nick Saban tree of coaching is very, 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 very fluid, and it's in college football and some of the biggest powerhouses that we know now. So I don't think Alabama will be down. I do think that they will, if anything, reload. They're like the Steelers, the Ravens, teams like that. They don't rebuild, they reload. So we'll see what happens with them. But Nick Saban, we will miss you. 72 years of age. He was making $11.2 million a year. I just thought that was very interesting when I looked that up. But I still think they're going to win the SEC, whatever conference they're in now, especially with all this realignment. They're still the team to beat in that division. But we'll see what happens. We'll see. Cravante, let's go to you, brother, because we had some big news this past week. We're going to start with the Commanders as we see the NFC East just burn to the ground, and I know you love it. Washington Commanders have their GM, Adam Peters, worked with the San Francisco 49ers, 44 years of age, spent the last 3 seasons as John Lynch's right-hand man, working for the San Francisco 49ers. They drafted a lot of key playmakers like Brock Purdy, acquired Christian McCaffrey, and before his promotion to assistant GM, he spent 2017 through 2020 as the team's vice president of player personnel. And the 49ers have been to 3 NFC championship games and a Super Bowl during his time with the franchise. He's good friends with Bob Myers, so that was a nice little connection there. So you see what they did with bringing in Bob Myers and Rick Spielman. getting guys they know who have success. You get another former 49ers great working under John Lynch. You've seen what they do with their players, drafting, development, trades, a lot of money to spend in Washington, high draft capital. Gravante, how you feeling today? You got to be excited, man. And like you said, you can interview your head coach a week from today after the divisional round.
Absolutely. I'm absolutely excited. For once, guys, for once, I could legit say I'm excited for this offseason, not dragging, not stumbling to the offseason or dragging out of the offseason. I legit feel good. The cancer that is Daniel Snyder is gone. Josh Harris, Magic Johnson, and them. It looks like we're finally doing it the right way. We're getting some guys that know football, that are competent in the front office to run the show. And I believe Adam Peters, I said something about Ian Cunningham before, and it was between Adam Peters and Ian Cunningham. But I just had a feeling they was going to lean Adam Peters. He was not my number one guy, and Ian Cunningham was my number two. So how the offseason is going, things are working out how I personally, as a fan, would like it to work out. But listen, the only thing that I will thumbs down for Adam Peters and the 49ers picking from the 49ers tree is that goofy Trey Lance trade. That was the only thing in recent memory that was very, very, very goofy. But as far as scouting and evaluating talent, the brother Adam Peters is him and that staff and that front office, they hit way more often than they don't. And then they get their guys in free agency too. And they do really well with like doing deals and things like that. So, and of course, Adam Peters, I think all the guys who really feel like that they're that guy, they want to have an opportunity to do it themselves, because it's kind of like Airbnb in Kansas City. Even though we're talking about on the coaching staff, like Andy Reid always gonna get the credit. With the 49ers, John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan is always gonna get the credit. So he gets to come to Washington, which is a blank slate, number 2 overall pick, all the cap space in the world, and he gets to mold this franchise how he sees fit, moving forward. So it's very, very exciting for Commanders, for Washington football team, Commanders, Redskins, whatever the hell you want to call it right now. It's our future is looking very much bright, and I'm excited for what's next. I think my front runner is Ben Johnson. Shout out to Bobby Slowick, Byron, what he doing down there with CJ Stroud. I love to see it. I think it's number 2. We actually did a virtual interview with y'all guy, McDonald. During y'all, because y'all got the bye week and all. He had a little free time, you know what I'm saying? So we did a virtual interview with him, but that just gives the vibes that they're probably not going that direction. And reports are saying like, Ben Johnson is going to be the guy. So I'm looking forward for just waiting for the Lions to come on, take this L, baby, and lose their offensive coordinator so we can move forward. But yes, it's very, very exciting. And on top of all that, it's always a good week when the Cowboys get smashed. It's always a good week, man. Jordan Love. Hey, Raj. Jordan Love, baby. I tell you, he wasn't showing no love in Dallas, though. Let me tell you. And of course, the Eagles are laying the absolute biggest egg after the first 12 weeks being 10-1 and then finishing down the stretch 1-5. I had no faith that they were going to win this game. None whatsoever. I thought what was going to happen to the Eagles was way more likely than what happened to the Cowboys. Let me just say that. But NFC East fizzled out. Cowboys fans, Eagles fans talking all that mess all year, and same thing every year. At least the Cowboys, same thing every year. And the Eagles literally unraveled at the seam, and it's crazy. So you see what happens when you pay the quarterback, things get a little shaky, man. But it is what it is. But I am happy moving forward as a Commanders fan. I think this is the biggest offseason for us And I was talking to Byron and Raj offline. Don't be surprised if we go from worst to first. You know what I'm saying? In this very, very shaky division, it can happen. But I'm going to be patient. I'm excited, but I'm going to be patient because it's going to take some time. It's going to take a couple years. Caleb Williams just declared. I don't know why he waited so long, keeping us all in suspense. Well, not really in suspense because we knew what he was going to do. But today was the last day to do it, and he did it. Duh, right? So yes, I am excited moving forward, and I can't wait to see what the Bears do with the first pick.
Yes, Caleb Williams did declare. We had Marvin Harrison Jr. declare earlier last week, and the Alabama Crimson Tide are in the SEC West. So, yes, they dominate that division every year. Yes. But yes, we will see what happens. Adam Peters is the new general manager coming from San Francisco. As Cavante mentioned, does he bring in a former San Francisco guy like Bobby Slowick? Do they go with Ben Johnson from Detroit, who his stock is rising, which we'll get into in a second? And like Cavante said, man, the Cowboys and Eagles and Commanders all could be having new coaches on the sidelines
Ain't that
season.
crazy?
Wow, that is crazy.
Yeah, I don't think they should fire Nick Sirianni, but we'll see what happens. We'll get to that when the time comes. But we know we've seen it in the chat. Jadis, I did see your chat. You want Nick gone, I know. Raj, let's get to the Ravens, man.
Yes.
Go ahead. What's up? How you feeling, man? We finally know when and where. You've been waiting for 2 weeks. I know you hate Saturday games. Yeah, we didn't know where. I know you hate Saturday games, but you will be in the building, cold as it probably will be on Saturday. Ravens, Texans, 4:30, ESPN and ABC for your viewing pleasure. We played them in week 1, beat them 25-9. I did a little quick video earlier, just breaking the news, talking about my initial thoughts. How you feeling about this game, Raj? 4:30 on Saturday against the upstart Houston Texans and Cavante's boy, CJ Stroud, who's already a top 10 quarterback, by the way, which I said in the video.
Already crazy.
This is the unlikely scenario that I thought we will be facing this weekend. I did not see the Texans making it out the first round to come to the divisional round, but yet this is the scenario that the Ravens have been dealt. I look at it this way. If the Ravens do not win this game on Saturday at 4:30, it's going to be curtains for Lamar Jackson, bro. And it don't matter if he plays great. It don't matter if he plays terrible. If the Baltimore Ravens do not win this game on Saturday at 4:30, everybody and their mother, including the media, will be destroying him. And only reason I'm saying this is because CJ Stroud is that dude. CJ Stroud is that man. And the sad part about this is him and Lamar have the same amount of playoff wins. So if the Ravens don't get it done on Saturday again, it's going to be ugly, man. And I like you said, I will be there. It's going to be extremely cold outside, and I understand. And this is pretty much the full circle of things to come since week 1. Now, granted, like I said last week, I am not worried about the Texans or whoever that's coming into town. The only way the Ravens are going to lose is they beat themselves, or if they just don't show up at all. But I give all the credit to Houston. They are a really, really, really good team. A lot of underrated weapons on that squad as well. Nico Collins being one. Although Tank Dell is gone for the rest of the year, he was one as well too. And CJ Stroud makes a big difference. When like I said last week, I did pick them to win. I didn't think they was going to win. I picked them to win, beat the Browns, but dang man, I didn't expect them to blow them out like they did. Jesus. But that defense is really good. We played them week 1. They gave us a lot of trouble. A lot of people went down in that game. I think Tyler Linderbaum went down and Ronnie Stanley went down. And I think Marcus Williams went down in that game as well. So yeah, man, this is pretty much the matchup that we need, to be honest with you. This is the matchup that we need. I understand, going against Flacco would have been great because it would have been a great story. And of course, going against Pittsburgh, the rivalry, would have been great as well. And also, who was the other team? The Dolphins. We just played them and blew them out. But this is it right here, man. This is it. Houston is going to be a problem, and C.J. Stroud is only getting started. So, like I said before, man, if they don't get the job done on Saturday, man. Although I hate Saturday games, I cannot stand them. They had a whole 2 weeks to prepare for this. If C.J. Stroud outshines Lamar, it's gonna be nasty, man. Just straight nasty. But I'm of course I'm gonna go with the Ravens, of course. As always, I'm never gonna stray for them because they've been playing great all year and they've earned the right to have that bye week. But Houston is a really hot team. So that's how I'm feeling right now about this 4:30 game. I'm pumped up for it. I hope the Ravens are too. I hope they watch closely what C.J. Stroud has been doing these past 3 to 4 weeks. And I hope they have a game plan to at least slow it down just a little bit.
Cravante, CJ Stroud actually threw for 242 yards in that first game against the Ravens. He turned it on in the second half. How you feeling about this initial matchup? Like Rod said, it's basically a full circle moment. 2019, they played on a Saturday at 4:30, I believe. They were the number one seed. They played at home. They were favored by a nice margin, which they probably will be favored again. Lamar's going to win the MVP again. What are your initial thoughts heading into this game? And D'Amico Ryan's doing a hell of a job with that team, and that defense is underrated as well.
So shout out to C.J. Stroud, rookie quarterback, D'Amico Ryans, rookie head coach, and Bobby Slowick, rookie offensive coordinator. They are making huge strides, doing very, very well with it, and also a very young team at that. And I think this is one of those things where they are too young to know what they don't know or to understand what they're doing. They're just playing football because the entire playoffs they'll be playing with house money the whole time. Play with house money, even though it was a home game. Play with house money. They wasn't favored in the Browns game. They're not going to be favored against the Ravens. So they're playing with house money. Now, it is going to be in the road. It is a hostile environment. It's going to be cold. Now, I'm not worried about that for C.J. Stroud because he played at Ohio State. So I don't think the weather will be that big of a deal. But it's just I'm waiting for the rookie mistake. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting, whether it be on the coaching side or whether it be on the quarterback side. Now, C.J. Stroud hasn't really made many mistakes all year. Like he has a single-digit interceptions this year, which is phenomenal for a rookie. But I'm waiting for you said 5? It's 5? Got it. So I'm waiting for that to happen. Now, C.J. Stroud, that's my new dog, y'all. That's my new dog now. But I'm waiting for that domino to fall. Because one thing would be crazy is C.J. Stroud is in the championship game his rookie year. That is crazy. Like, I don't even want to, like, that. It's so crazy. Like, I don't even want to put that out there because, like, we talk about top 10. He knocking down the top 10 door if he do all that. But I will go with the Ravens because, listen, the Ravens have been the best team for majority, at least the back half of the year for sure. Definitely the back half of the year. But they've been most consistent. And they had time to prepare. They said, during their practices, it's going to be geared up. It's going to be revved up because remember the last time they had all this time off, they was looking crazy coming out in their playoff game. So hopefully John Harbaugh made some adjustments. Lamar Jackson lead these boys like I know he can and get this win. But this ain't the same Texas team from week 1, as we all know. This is not because I would want to say it. I didn't like the front office of this team. I was like, I think this is going to end up being a lottery team, a top 10 pick team coming in this year. But C.J. Stroud has other plans, which I am cool with. I thought it was going to take some time. He's definitely ahead of schedule. And as long as he keeps his turnovers low, it's up. Because if you turn the ball over against the Ravens, it's going to get ugly. You know what I'm saying? It'll turn into like how the Ravens when they play half the teams that they played this year. But in recent memory, the 49ers, it could turn into that game if you turn the ball over. But CHR has been doing a good job of not turning the ball over. So if he does not turn the ball over, it'll be close. But I'm gonna roll with the Ravens to go ahead and do whatever it is they gotta do to win. I don't care how it happened because, like Rod said, he's very, very right. I don't want to see what they're gonna do to Lamar Jackson if they lose this game. I do not want to see it. It ain't gonna be good. It ain't gonna be pretty. And he's gonna get a second MVP, and it's not gonna matter.
It's gonna be ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards a close game as well. Like you said, Cravante, and I even said it. They don't know. They're young. They are fearless, and their head coach has a culture of winning. Go ahead. Raj.
I hope they don't got that Dallas Cowboys mentality.
And that's what I was about to say. I said it in the video. I said, don't be like the Cowboys.
Don't.
Yeah, please don't. Please, cross every, T and dot every I and just make sure that you go out there prepared for anything because, like Cravante said, these guys have nothing to lose. They're not even supposed to be in this position.
They're not supposed to be here. House
They're
money.
not supposed to be here. Exactly. So, I mean, if the Ravens don't come out on fire or at least match that energy, it could be a wrap, man. And it'd be a really sad Saturday afternoon. I'll tell you that, going into the night.
Make sure if you're in the chat, if you haven't already, hit that thumbs up. Helps us out tremendously and costs you nothing. And as always, hit that Cash App. Donate to us.
I got a question.
Good.
If for whatever reason something crazy happens and the Ravens fall, does this first scene really mean anything?
This is what first scene?
The first seed.
The first seed. Oh, in our eyes, no, because it'd be the second time that we done lost, in the divisional round after doing it in 2019, and thinking that we was the greatest of all time, being 14-2, and then we get blown out by the Titans. So, no, the only thing that matters is that you're prepared and that you're ready to go. And that you have your game plan, and your game plan is flawless. If you don't have any of these things, then you can be got. So if the Ravens go out there and do what they're supposed to do, like they've been doing all season long, they should be fine. If not, CJ Stroud's going to have a field day with them.
I do like the schedule they did this week. They practice pretty much every day. They practice at the stadium on Saturday, and they'll get back to it this week. Basically, like you said, Raj, 2 weeks to the day. So they're going to be prepared. Let's see how they execute on game day, to say the least. But let's get into this coaching news. As this past week, it was fast and furious. We know the Falcons have a head coaching opening. The Panthers have a head coaching opening. The Raiders have one. Technically, the Chargers have one. The Seahawks have one now with Pete Carroll being pushed out the back door. We have the Titans. Mike Vrabel, he's now gone. We have the Commanders, as Cravante mentioned. And Bill Belichick did leave the New England Patriots, but they did bring in Gerard Mayo. He was already there as a linebackers coach. Yeah. He is now the youngest head coach in the NFL and a brother of color, a black man, getting the position in Boston as the head coach. So you got Joe Mazzulla with the Celtics, and you got Gerard Mayo with the Patriots. Patriots number 3 overall pick. As I mentioned, Mayo been coaching there the past 3 years. He's been learning under Belichick. His defenses have been legit, even without the offensive weapons and firepower anymore. And the youngest head coach in the NFL, Raj. How you feeling about these coaches? And do we have any more openings possibly this week with the Cowboys and the Eagles?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Mike McCarthy is getting the boot. Quick, fast, and hurry. His job is over with. But, shout out to Gerard Mayo. He's been under Bill probably his whole career, basically, since he was drafted. So he knows the ins and outs of the team. Pretty sure he has the respect of every player there as well. So I'm glad that he's getting an opportunity. Let's see what he does with it. Hopefully he's not a one and done. Hopefully he does very well. As far as the Cowboys, like I said, Mike McCarthy is going to be gone. Not sure where Bill Belichick is going to go, though. I know D was like, Bill on speed dial, But if Bill is not humble, I don't see that happening or working out because we already know what Jerry Jones does. He likes to run everything, the president, the GM. I mean, he's the lead singer. He's everything when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys. So
He David Ruffin.
He's David Ruffin. You know what I'm saying? You ain't nothing without Jerry Jones, basically. So if Bill's not humble and he's not willing to just, fall under that order, it's not going to work. It's just not going to work. And then they'll just get into a tiff. And then Bill will be fired probably during the season, not even at the end of the season, during the season. So it just depends on what Bill's mindset is and where he really, really wants to go. So as far as that is concerned, as far as Jim Harbaugh, I know he had an interview with the Chargers. Not sure how that went. I guess we'll see in the coming days, but he's been rumored to go there. Also, he still might be a candidate for head coach at the Commanders. So you never know. I mean, they're going to be on the up and up. So like you said before, Cravante, they might make a swift turnaround in a couple years, maybe even a year, depending on how they go. But there's just so many opportunities across the league right now. Pete Carroll, like you said, he's looking for a job as well. So I'm pretty sure he'll land on his feet somewhere. And there's going to be some other guys out there that are looking for jobs. Mike McDonald being one, because I think he interviewed for 6 spots. So he might be gone as well to get one of these spots. But yeah, man, it's a coaching carousel right now. Like I said, Mike McCarthy is on his way out. Dan Quinn might be fired right along with him because he was terrible in that playoff game. But yeah, man, it is the wild, wild west out here. And I just want to see where everybody's going to go at. But yeah, it's Bill Belichick. We don't know where he's going. Hopefully he lands somewhere where he wants to land. But like I said, if he's not humble, then it's not going to work with the Cowboys.
Cravante, how you feeling, my guy, in regards to the coaching carousel? It's in full effect. Hop on board, get you a ticket, and anybody that jumps out to you after this recent flurry of moves, and is Mike McCarthy really the problem? I mean, he's won 12 games 3 straight years.
So the issue with the Cowboys job is that it's the Cowboys job. That's the most scrutinized job. The coach, the head coach of the Cowboys, and the quarterback of the Cowboys is the most scrutinized jobs and probably in all of sports, honestly. And when you keep getting to the same spot and not getting over the hump, that usually spells curtains. Especially you choose to have your worst game to be that playoff game, that one game you can't get past, and you get embarrassed at home when you ain't lost the game in over a year. It looks real crazy, and I agree with Raj. I think Mike McCarthy is out of there sooner rather than later. If I'm Dan Quinn, you ain't got to fire me. I got options. You know what I'm saying? Hey, if I was Dan Quinn, I look to go back home, go back to the Seattle Seahawks. I think that'd be a great landing spot for him. Pete Carroll was surprising, just because there were no rumors or nothing that came out about that. It's just that they parted ways, and he may take like a lesser role as like an advisor. I'm like, man, he still got a lot of juice left in that tank, so he's gonna try his best to land somewhere else. Let me see. AP. I'm hearing AP is he's going to be. I think he's interviewing with Tennessee. And of course he's one of the front runners for the Raiders job. I think it's really only him and Jim Harbaugh. But Jim Harbaugh just interviewed with the Chargers. I think that would be a great spot for him, man. I honestly think Harbaugh would be much better suited on the West Coast, just because it's the West Coast, Mike Vrabel, I kind of saw that coming, because he was in a nasty back and forth with the front office, so I saw that coming. Where will he go will be interesting. I'm hearing Bill Belichick interviewing with the Falcons. That's something, and it's interesting because I don't know. I feel like Atlanta will never get over the 28-3. So I wouldn't interview him just off that. Like, yeah, you can't come in, yo. What you did to us on national television in front of everybody. Nah, bro, you can't. You just can't come in. But they are going to interview him, so I guess. But the most unattractive job is that goddamn Carolina Panthers job. GM and head coach. It ain't good. It ain't good. Stay away. For those that have options, that is not an option. Now for the rookie GMs and rookie head coaches, listen, it's only 32 jobs. They're all prestige in their own way, despite it being ranked 32nd out of 32. They'll try to cut their teeth at that job, but I don't think we're going to see anybody who's already held that position in the previous location go to Carolina. It's just David Tepper is a terrible. He is giving Daniel Snyder. Matter of fact, the Panthers look like us. they look like how we were recently, and it's like, damn. It's like it was bad while I was in it, but seeing it happen to another team and like the beginning stages of it, like this is he's paying two coaches that's no longer coaching no more, and he's gonna have to pay a third. How you got three coaches on payroll, three head coaches on payroll, and really only one? He's still paying Matt Rule, y'all. Still paying Matt Rule. Matt Rule done got another job, getting money from wherever he get money from, and still cashing that Carolina Panthers check.
And I think Matt Rule, real quick, has the #1 quarterback recruit. He swayed him to Nebraska. So he looks like he's living good up there.
Matt Rule is A-OK. Any other, obviously, the Commander's job is available, but I think guys are going to want to come to us right now. This be one of the rare cases where a hot spot to land would be Washington right about now, because it's a blank slate. Everybody's going to get the opportunity. I mean, whoever comes is going to get the opportunity to put their paw prints all over this organization and move it in the proper direction towards the future and try to get back to some resemblance of like the glory days. Because all us young folks that's in our early 30s and younger don't know nothing about them. You know what I'm saying? Don't know nothing about the glory days. You know what I'm saying? Well, you was around when the team first got founded, Raj. Okay.
You're right. I was there.
But so our job is very attractive. And can somebody tell me how Eberflus is staying with Chicago? What the hell are they doing?
I guess they think.
How you keep Eberflus and fire the entire offensive coaching staff?
I guess Eberflus got some video on the owner, I guess. So
hey, listen, man, he might know where the bodies are buried. Because how the hell, like, that's basically like starting over with Justin Fields, because Eberflus is a defensive-minded guy. He's not hands-on with Fields.
And that's his fourth coordinator in 4 years.
So I don't even know what they're gonna do with Fields. I thought them keeping Eberflus was a sign that they would keep Fields, but now it's like that don't even mean that. So that Chicago's one of the jobs I thought would be available, and it is not. So that'll be interesting. But last thing, the Eagles. Nick Sirianni lost the locker room very quickly. It unraveled wildly. And even though they was 10-1 through 12 weeks, the Eagles did not have any convincing wins, really. And the defensive coordinator play calling title got taken away from him. The offense looked stale and stagnant. And then we hear rumblings that Jalen Hurts does not have any leadership qualities anymore. He's losing the locker room. Him and A.J. Brown going back and forth. A.J. Brown quit. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot going on that derailed the Eagles, but it happened all under Nick Sirianni's watch. But that's what happens when you lose both your coordinators. That's kind of what happens. But Nick Sirianni, I would not be surprised. I guess I'll be shocked, because the Eagles are still have a pretty damn good roster. It's just how things go in Philly. it kind of similar to Dallas in that they love hard and you die hard. You know how I get down in Philly. So I'll be shocked, but I wouldn't be really surprised because I know how Philly get down and they don't look like that. They done made all types of moves, getting Kevin Byard, and they got Shaq. Then they get Shaq, Shaq Leonard.
Yep.
All that and still couldn't help the defense. So Nick Sirianni, I would say McCarthy goes before Sirianni.
Both will be wanted jobs if they're open. So we'll see what happens with that. All right, let's get into this wild card weekend, guys. Big weekend that has finally come to an end as we had a delay of a game and we had a Monday night game that just ended. Saturday, it started with the Texans breaking out hammer 45-14. And Raj, they gave Flacco one more of these before he left out the door.
Yeah, they whooped his ass big time in Houston. But it is what it is, man. I've seen a lot of Ravens fans on Facebook, you know, celebrating and cheering and saying, "Oh yeah, you know, only January Joe resides in Baltimore," which is true. Only January Joe resides in Baltimore. But I felt bad for him though. I'm not even gonna sit here and lie to you. I was happy they lost. I was happy they didn't win. But I didn't want Joe to look like that. I didn't want Joe to go out there and just throw interceptions left and right and then turn the ball over and make it look like, you know, the fluco that Dre likes to call him and sometimes D likes to call him. I mean, granted, I understand that he was never the greatest quarterback in football here, of course. He was always just a good quarterback. But I felt bad for him, man, because he didn't get an opportunity in New York the last 2 years because they're goofy as hell. And then when the chance came for them to actually pick up a quarterback, they decided not to pick him up and give him a try. But all of a sudden, when the Browns pick him up, he becomes a fantastic quarterback. So it's, you know, for a period of time. So it just sucks that he had to go out like that. But hopefully, like you said, he doesn't want to retire. He might come back, be a backup somewhere again. But as far as Joe Flacco being, you know, probably being a starter, I think that them days is completely over with. But you never know. But the Houston Texans, like I said before, they surprised me. They came out there with nothing to lose. They barely snuck in because the Jaguars decided not to play their best football and won a division, and all of a sudden they showed out. So hats off to them. Like I said, they'll be coming to Baltimore this Saturday with nothing to lose yet again. Not supposed to be there, but they're there. And it's going to be something else, man. It's going to be something else. So I'm happy for CJ Stroud, but I'm sad for Joe, but screw the Browns. I'm glad they're gone. Screw them, especially Myles Garrett. He always talking trash about Lamar, but he is not going to the next round of the playoffs.
Go ahead, Cravante.
Let me see. Texans. I think we're so are we looking ahead? Are we talking
Wherever you want to go with it. We would just thoughts on the game real quick. We usually do this in a post game show. We just talk about the game real quick, give it quick little thoughts, and you want to look ahead, you can throw that in there as well.
Okay. So again, playing with house money. Again, too young to not know what they getting themselves into, and don't care. They put an absolute beat down on the Browns, and I know Ravens fans was eating it up. I know it. C.A. Stroud looked damn good, and my gosh, D'Amico Ryans was calling that had that defense revved up. I was like, who are these guys on the D line? Who? I know Derek Stingley, you know, is over there. I know Will Anderson is over there, but who are these guys? He got these guys roaring and ready to go. So that was really good to watch. This is one of those rare times where a defensive head coach, and a quarterback. That's how a good marriage is supposed to look. Just like that. C.J. Stroud not making any mistakes, but also not being scared to throw that ball. So very successful. I believe him and Jordan Love had a perfect passer rating. And
Jordan came on one short because he threw that pass. So it's 157.2 for Jordan Love.
Darn it. So he gets instead of 100, he gets a 96.
Right.
But C.J. Stroud and Jordan Love had similar numbers. You take care of the ball, you got a shot. And that's for anybody. You take care of the ball and you sustain drives, you have an opportunity. You have an opportunity to win. And hell, not just opportunity to win, you got an opportunity to beat some people up that you ain't supposed to be beating up on. And it looked like the Browns was ill prepared. But granted, they had an up and down season, so the way that it ended is like, okay. But again, Texas playing with house money. Hell, the Packers playing with house money too. You know what I'm saying? Like the 49ers shouldn't poo-poo them either, even though the 49ers typically have their way with the Packers and Rodgers are not. So I'm looking forward to all of to the next round of matchups. Anywhere else we going in particular, Byron?
We'll go to the next game. We'll start with you then, since you're on the screen. We had, what was that? The Saturday night.
Chiefs and Dolphins.
It was the Chiefs and Dolphins. I mean, really not much to say. I mean, Chiefs blow out the Dolphins 26-7. I mean, people calling to a solve. I mean, the Chiefs defense is pretty good. They were second behind the Ravens in a lot of those categories that we praise the Ravens for.
Chiefs defense was good all year. Legit. Like, yeah, they were good all year, especially when they got Chris Jones back in the lineup. They were dominant. Very, very, very dominant. And it's crazy because I know Patrick Mahomes is like, yo, where was this defense at way back when I was carrying folks? And we had to drop 40. We had to drop 35-40. Where was this defense at? But now that's just like things are never perfect. Because now the defense is up and Kansas City don't have no wide receivers. I don't know about y'all. Did y'all see Kadarius Toney at all yesterday?
He was deactivated.
As he should have been. As he absolutely should have been. Just terrible. But even Travis Kelce was out there dropping passes. Like Rice and Pacheco for this Chiefs offense looks really, really, really good. Pacheco is the smallest guy on the field, but he looked like he has the biggest heart. And Rice just finds a way to get open.
Mm-hmm.
Travis Kelce's always open, but Travis Kelce been getting the little butterfingers, here and there. But you're not going to go away from him because he's Travis Kelce. Now to the Dolphins. Kansas City Sub-Zero. I kind of expected that. You are a warm weather team. I didn't expect much from you guys. And the Dolphins offense has been, top 10, top 5 this year. They had, I think Waddle and Tyreek Hill had 1,000 yards receiving. And Mostert had 1,000 yards rushing. So having 3 guys, with 1,000 yards is crazy. And of course, Tua led the league in passing yards. So we knew what their offense was capable of in fair weather. That's the thing about these top teams, especially in the AFC. Baltimore, Kansas City, Buffalo. Crazy cold, crazy weather. You don't know what you're going to get. And one thing that does not travel well is the air attack. Because as soon as that heavy rain, heavy snow, heavy wind, Tua already does not have the strongest arm. Because even on that play where Tyreek Hill scored, Tua underthrew him. That the one breakout play, because they only scored 7 points.
Yep.
So we all remember it very well. He threw the ball to Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill he underthrew it. Tyreek Hill still caught it, pass interference, and then he ended up scoring. That was it. I just think And I don't even know what they can do to overcome that. Just I don't think it's about being just that it was cold. And when you have a quarterback that does not have a strong arm and it's windy and it's cold, that's tough. That's gonna be very, very, very tough. And also, they kind of banged up too. So the deck was stacked against them big time in the Chiefs Dolphins game. And Mike McDaniels did what he could, but he was overmatched in more ways than one.
I don't think Tua's won a game 40 degrees or under, by the way.
Well, let me just say this. I'm gonna keep this brief. The only reason why, like Cravante said, they're not a good cold weather team. We all knew this going in, but the Dolphins was one of the best teams outside of the Ravens and 49ers this year. They was one of the best teams. The only reason why they're not in a position they're in is because they lost to the Titans, which they should never lost to, and they got their asses kicked by us. So. And then on top of that, they still had the second seed, and they could have held a playoff game, but they lost to the Bills. Yep. So it's like they lost to all the teams that they need to win, and then all of a sudden you get put against the Kansas City Chiefs, and then all of a sudden it's negative 27 degrees outside. It's like, what the hell you expect? You expect them to go out there and put 70 points up on the Kansas City Chiefs? No, that's just not going to happen. It's unrealistic. And on top of that, Tua has been good, but he's a turnover machine this year. Devon Achane has been hurt a lot of these games. Mostart had got hurt the last 2 or 3 games, and then Tyreek Hill, all of a sudden, he's grabbing his knee every other game, and then Waddle is just not playing.
He's waddling.
He's waddling. So, like you said, the injuries have killed them as far as, being able to go further than what they want to go. But they're on the right path. They just got to stay healthy, and they got to win the games that they're not supposed to win, especially against the Bills, your divisional opponent. You have to beat them the last game of the season. And you got to, and when you have a 2-touchdown lead on the Titans, you got to finish that off. You got to finish it off. But I always knew Kansas City was going to win this game. Once I saw that they lost to the Bills last week, I said, this is a wrap. It doesn't matter what the score is. They're not going to beat the Chiefs. They're just going to find a way to lose. And that's exactly what they did.
Get to Sunday, because the Pittsburgh Steelers Bills game was postponed to today due to snow, but Cowboys and Packers 48-32. Jordan Love was looking fantastic. Dallas, the game wasn't even this close.
Nope.
48-32. Rashawn was there. Rod, I know you did a video. Did the Cowboys choke it away, man?
Yes. They choked it away. I picked them to win. They were supposed to win. They're always been a team that's like, shaky because of Dak and that defense. But yesterday was just embarrassing. Like yesterday, they wasn't even supposed to been it. Like that game wasn't even supposed to been that close, to be honest with you. And for them to go out there and play the way they did in that first half, it's just so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing that Jimmy Johnson had to give a pep talk at halftime to get them motivated to play. And he's almost 90 years old. I mean, come on, man. It's just disgusting, honestly. And if you're a Cowboys fan, you should be disgusted in your team. But I gotta give hats off to the Packers though, man, because they were another team just like the Texans who were not supposed to be here. And they're in a position right now to go against the San Francisco 49ers and put on a show. Did y'all know that since the bye week of the Green Bay Packers, Jordan Love has only threw 2 interceptions?
Nope.
I think he's thrown for 25 or 26 touchdowns out of that as well.
I think he's close to 30. If he ain't got 30, I think he's right around 30.
Bro, this dude right here, man, has been killing it. How do I know? I had him in fantasy and won the fantasy championship. Thank you, Mr. Love. But he's been killing it for real, though. He has been playing his ass off. And I'm not sure what happened at the bye week. I'm not sure what he did. I'm not sure if he had a long conversation with Duck Dodgers.
Congratulations on winning the fantasy championship, by the way.
I'm not sure if he had a long conversation with Duck Dodgers, Aaron Rodgers, but this brother is playing his ass off, man, and he's going to be getting paid very, very soon. So hats off to him. This is his first actual year starting. He took that young team from to the playoffs, destroyed the Cowboys, in a position right now to do some things against the 49ers. I mean, this right now is the sky's the limit right now. I was watching Brett Favre earlier, and he was saying that he was saying that the San Francisco needs to look out for real, because if they don't play their A game, just like if the Ravens don't play their A game, they could be going home early as well. So the Green Bay Packers are playing with house money. It could be one of those close games. And Jordan Love right now, man, he's doing everything right. And if you blitz him, he's going to destroy you, literally. Ask the Cowboys. But yeah, that game was a blowout. Not sure what the Cowboys are going to do next year, but this Dak thing, it's just ugly, man. It's just ugly, and the whole organization just wetted the bed and embarrassed themselves on national television.
Matt LaFleur is a hell of a coach, Cravante. Before you go, we got to give him his flowers. Packers become the first 7 seed since the playoffs expanded to win a playoff game, beating the number 2 seed. And how about those throws, man? Looking like Duck Dodger, your boy Aaron Rodgers or Brett Favre, throwing off platform, throwing on a run, throwing with his feet in the air like Michael Jordan. I mean, he can make all the throws, or like Mahomes is making, or you see Josh Allen make that people salivate over. This man looks like the real deal. And that defense is very good. I think they were hurt a lot this
It's
season.
underrated. It's very underrated. Very underrated. Jair Alexander still one of the top corners. One of our old guys from the Command as well. I guess it was the football team at the time. Preston Smith is over there as a pass rusher. They are very, very underrated on the side. And of course, Darnell Savage. What school did he go to?
He went to Maryland.
Yes, he did.
Yes.
He did.
And Aaron Jones is back healthy too. You see?
Oh yeah, that was another key. That was another key. I'm about to say that was another key.
Your boy, Aaron
he didn't play most of the season, but the last 3 games he had some phenomenal numbers. His legs was fresh, and he's been balling, man. He's definitely been balling.
He was back home too. He was back home in Texas, by the way.
Oh yeah. Listen, every chance he get, he show out, and especially at Dallas, he always show out. But Jordan, this is what I was waiting on. Because early on when Jordan Love was playing, I didn't see special. And first half of the year, it was like, blah, blah, blah. And the second half, like Roger was saying, he's been on a roll. And I'm just waiting like, okay, come to the playoffs. And he has a performance like this. Like, yep, that's it. Jordan Love is here. And he chooses the best time to do it because like Rod said, that payday is right around the corner.
He chose violence.
And he chose violence. He went into Dallas and beat Dallas, where Dallas hasn't lost in over a year. He went in there like it was nothing and gave them a trouncing. Look at them numbers by these 2 young guys. Both 1-year starters. Look how identical those numbers are. What are they doing? Who told them they could come out and play like this against professionals? The boy they plan against is getting paid too. And Jordan Love, listen, I love you a little bit extra because you did it to the Cowboys. I loved every bit of it. It was 27-0. When he threw that last, what was that, the pick he threw to Darnell Savage?
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe that was the one that and Darnell Savage, like the vet he is, baited him right into it. Double slants, he went with the inside guy and stayed flat for that second guy. Pick, and with nobody in sight. And I said, wow, I think that's it. I think that's enough. I think we've had enough here, guys. And they got a touchdown in the before halftime, but it was 27-7. The guys, it was so bad. Fans left at halftime. Dallas Cowboy fans left at halftime. It was bad, real bad, real bad. And I loved every bit of it. Every bit of it. That is a perfect game because look at how many times they threw the ball. They threw the ball 21 times. Nice, efficient. Absolutely great game by Jordan Love. Shout out to Aaron Jones. Every chance he get, he put his foot in the Dallas Cowboys. You know what? With I believe he had 3 touchdowns, over 100 yards, over on 20 carries, had over 5 yards to carry. Just doing whatever he wants. And like I told you before, the Dallas Cowboys, especially their defense, they're front runners. Nobody likes to play the run over there. Nobody likes to play the run. Mike Parsons and them, they want to play the pass. They just want to try to hit the quarterback, sack the quarterback. They don't play the run well. They're not a balanced team. They are front runners. Speaking of Michael Parsons, got to send the APB out. Dre, what up, baby?
Hey, what's up, Dre?
Hey, it was good, man.
Got to send the APB out because Michael Parsons, because I know every week, Raj, every week he on the podcast. He on the podcast talking this, talking that. And you out there doing cardio. You out there cardio. What you had? 1 sack, one assisted, no 1 pressure. Come on, boy. Come on, man. Overrated. Overhyped and overrated. Now, I'm not saying Mike Parsons is not good. I'm just saying when the light's big, you fall right in line with the Cowboys with not showing up. You fell right in line. Now, granted, Dak Prescott did not put them in great positions. You know what I'm saying? But as a team, Dan Quinn and Mike McCarthy got out coached. That's what happened. We saw a clinic at AT&T Stadium, and they kept showing Jerry Jones. I was like, Jerry Jones gonna have a heart attack. He not gonna make it through this game. I don't want to see the press conference after this game. He ain't gonna know what he might fire him during his press conference.
I think he was done by the halftime. I think he already knew it was about to happen.
Yeah.
Even yeah. I mean, we saw the highlights, and he was just like this. He was like, man, it is what it was. That's how he looked at like the third quarter. He already knew it was over.
But like, what else? He's like, yo, what else can I do? And Dak Prescott should be in line to get paid again. So now, what you really do?
See, that's the question. A lot of people are saying get rid of Dak, but can you really get rid of Dak? And do you want to go with Trey Lance at this point?
Listen, that's a crazy.
There you go. Yeah, he was just like,
God dog it.
Let's get Dre in here, man. Let's bring him in, man. The Flex Zone Messiah, the head of the Flex Zone table. He made it through the snow to be here. Pride of the East Side, saving misbehavior. The Saint himself, as Saint Nick, walks out the back door. My boy,
Hey,
Dre,
man,
man, your
as
time
always,
is impeccable, man. Coming in with the Cowboys.
I mean, where do I begin? First, let me shout out Cavante. Looked like he just came out the chair, man. The head is shining and everything. Boy, I see, baby, and you represent Morgan State.
Hey, let's get the lineup in there,
man. That Cowboys game, man. First of all, I know we're talking about the Cowboys, but majority of these games have been washed all weekend. I mean, it's been like blowout after blowout after blowout. Outside of the exception of probably the Lions game, most of those games they were over in the first quarter. I think, especially that Cowboys game. I'm like, okay, they up by they up by 14, but when they hit that 21 mark, I was like, yeah.
You look like
the funny thing is, I had like just placed my order of wings, and I was getting ready to be like, yo, just run that back. I don't even need that. Like, I already know what's about to happen. It was just a total waste of time, man. Just a whole disappointment, and then especially the Cowboys, because you figure that you're the number 2 seed. You don't got to go through Philadelphia. The only team you're gonna have to probably see at this point is the 49ers if you make it that far to the NFC Championship game. All the stars were aligned for Dallas to do something. I think even at it looked like um, Jimmy Johnson was trying to give them like a halftime speech or something, right? Because I just saw him just fired up and passionate, but I'm at the sports bar, so I can't hear what he's saying, but it seemed like he's fired up. So I'm like, oh, okay.
He was just rambling, is what he was doing.
Yeah, because it went in one ear and out the other. Because them dudes still got blown out the water even further after that. Very, very disappointing, honestly, with a lot of the games over the weekend, but especially the Cowboys game. And none of us actually picked the Packers. We all thought that the rookies were going to be wet behind the ears, but Byron, shout out to you, brother. You've been on it, and you too, Rod. Y'all been doing the Jordan Love thing all.
There it is.
Y'all been giving him love and praise. I thought that he would do good, but I didn't think he would be this good.
He's the next Green Bay. He's the next Green Bay Packer great.
Brother, I think I dropped it in the chat. Him and CJ Stroud basically were like 2 yards shy of each other, basically identical with everything that they were doing over the weekend. So, we got some good young quarterbacks. One guy who was just put in with a rookie head coach and they're making it work. And the other guy, Green Bay, man, they know what they're doing with their quarterbacks. I know a lot of us were wondering, well, why would you take Jordan Love when you have Aaron Rodgers? Thank you, Byron, for putting that up. Look at these numbers. 16 out of 21. I mean, like I said, 2 yards off completion, total yards with 274 versus 272. Both had 3 touchdowns, 175.2 passer rating, and they both won their games. We talked about Green Bay and when they drafted Jordan Love, but they know what they're doing. I mean, they know when's the right time to move off the quarterback. Aaron Rodgers, it took him like about a year to get settled in, and then he started becoming the Aaron Rodgers we know. And now Jordan Love already in basically really his full rookie season has already won a playoff game and taken his team to the playoffs, something that even Aaron Rodgers wasn't able to do with his first season in Green Bay. So, I mean, shout out to you got to give a huge shout out to the Green Bay Packers, because I don't think anybody really had them. And Cavante and Byron, I know that's y'all thing about the numbers and the odds on that, but I mean, I don't really think that a lot of people.
I think it was like 7.5. The spread was a little high in my opinion. Anyway, the Cowboys are like the Ravens; they don't blow people out. Good teams out.
Man, well, they may not blow teams out, but they got their asses blown out.
Pause, granddad.
Yes, pause. Total disappointment. And y'all talked about, should you get rid of Dak Prescott? He's got a year left on his contract now. You do have to decide.
That cap number is going to be crazy.
$59 million this year if they keep him. So do you keep Dak for another year? Like you guys said, you got Trey Lance back there. Do you draft a quarterback this year, try to move up, and then maybe a year you kind of do the Green Bay Packers thing, let him sit, and then you get rid of Dak after the year, don't re-sign him, and you let the rookie take over? That way you have more cap space. I don't know, because there's I think Dak is like 2-5 right now in the playoffs. So his numbers haven't been all that, and this is the reason you're paying Dak is because you want him to take that next step, and you're trying to see, can he be the franchise quarterback to take the Dallas Cowboys back to a Super Bowl? This year we were hoping with the money and everything, all the stars lined up, that he would possibly take that next step, and he didn't. But it's all the Cowboys have a lot of questions that they need to answer. Do they keep Mike McCarthy? But yet Dak Prescott has had like the best year of his career. So, this Cowboys team was the number 2 seed. So it's a lot of things with this organization. It's a lot of questions, a lot of answers that they have to deal with. Mike McCarthy, Dak Prescott. And then, we might as well not even talk about Jerry Jones is the general manager or anything, because it's the same issues all the time. We always say that Jerry's too involved, but as long as Jerry Jones owns the team, he's going to keep being involved the way that he is, and the fact that he makes money, so he's doing something right, at least on the business wise. It's just that they just can't get that championship window quite yet.
Dre, I'm gonna go to you. Sunday night, we did see the Lions outlast the
That's my boy.
The Lions outlasted the Rams 24-23, which was the best game of the weekend so far.
Yeah, that was the only one that wasn't a blowout. I mean, down to the wire. But my boy, I told you, kneecap biting. As a matter of fact, I was the only one that picked the Lions, just because I knew that my boy with the kneecaps and the biting and the whatever, eventually it was going to pay off. So I believe that with this Buccaneers win, that the Lions now face the Bucks right now, right? That's going to be the next matchup. Hey man, I'm looking forward to seeing that. Just like a lot of these riding analysts out there over Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes matchup, I'm hoping for this San Francisco 49ers and Lions matchup. That's what I'm hoping for the NFC Championship game. Shout out to what Dan Campbell's been doing, man, because we talked about the Cowboys being the number 2 seed, but it should be the Lions who should be the number 2 seed. But nevertheless, they're getting it done. And slowly a culture is being built. They're doing it the right way. They've been drafting the right players, putting in the right guys, and just believing in the system. And then you just see that everybody's just really excited with what's going on in Detroit. So I'm happy for them. And I'm especially really happy because a lot of us thought that the Rams would win this game. Matthew Stafford coming back to Detroit. And then, the Rams, you see that the Rams are a good young team. It's good to see that they're coming back, being that from what they were from their Super Bowl run a few years ago. But I'm really just happy for the fact that the Lions won this game, now putting the Miami Dolphins as the longest drought of not winning a playoff game. The Lions was since 91, and now the Dolphins since 2000. So, no, the Detroit Lions are coming, and like I said, I'm very happy for them.
Lions NFC Championship sounds crazy.
Hey, man, tides are changing, man.
Yo, and the last time they was in the championship was when the last time the Redskins won the Super Bowl, because they played the Lions in the NFC Championship. That was the last time the Lions were, and they got the win, and they beat the Cowboys in the divisional round in 1991, and then played the Redskins and lost in the NFC Championship. That was the last time the Lions were, decent. And now it's times have changed. That's crazy.
Your thoughts, Cavante, on the game, real quick?
Two guys that have an opportunity to play their old teams, and it looked like and the Rams had opportunities. Rams definitely had opportunities, but I want to give a shout out to both the defensive coordinators in that game, and Raheem Morris, from the defensive coordinator for the Rams. He was on our coaching staff too, Byron. Go figure. Back in the day, except he was our DB's coach when he was in Washington for the most part, I believe. And I believe is it? God dang, not Aaron Glenn's in Cleveland. Who the defensive coordinator for the Lions?
It is Aaron Glenn. Jim Schwartz is in Cleveland, I think.
Right. So yeah, Aaron Glenn. Because both of these teams' defenses were shaky all year, for real. Very, very, very shaky, and they had very good defensive game plans for both of them, for both sides. So, like I said, the Rams had the opportunities, and the Lions did all they could to keep the door shut on them. And like Dre said, this was the best game, and it really wasn't close. the best game for Super Wild Card weekend because it was the most entertaining. It went down to the wire, and wow, yeah, I Lions NFC Championship just sounds crazy right now because I'm picking. I don't know about y'all, but I'm picking up against the Bucks to go ahead and run that thing. Go ahead and run that thing back. So that means the Lions will be in the NFC Championship, and they would not have been in a little bit over 30 years. So Detroit has something to cheer about. Back to 2 playoff games and 2 potential playoff wins. Shout out to Detroit. Finally turned this ship around, and Dan Campbell looks like they made the right decision. And Jared Goff is playing well.
Yeah, he's a roller coaster.
He can be. He can be a roller coaster. Absolutely.
Every time I think about Jim Schwartz, I think about him running with that. What was it? Was it another coach on the sidelines back in the day? And
Back in the day,
with him. Oh my God, that joke was funny. But yeah, anyway, as far as the Detroit Lions, I'm very proud of him. I'm proud of the kneecap biter. You know, he's been through a lot. You know, shedding tears 2 years ago to now being in a position to go to the divisional game, host another home game as well against the Buccaneers. It's coming to fruition, man, for the Detroit Lions. So hats off to him. Puka Nacua, though, he's a complete monster as a receiver. My goodness. We already know we've seen him when he played here. But Matthew Stafford is still a beast, man. He was giving it everything he could. Like yesterday, he was getting beat up, banged up, but he kept on striking down the field, and they just hanged in there. But it was a really good game. I'm glad the Detroit Lions won. Let's see what they do against the Buccaneers, which won't be. The Buccaneers are not a slouch now. They're a pretty good team too. But yeah, we'll see what happens. But of course, you know I'm gonna roll with Detroit. But hats off to the Lions.
Real quick, Raj. Steelers lose to the Bills 31-17. Mike Tomlin ain't going away, right?
Well, we don't know because the way he ran off the podium earlier today, when he was asked, is he coming back? He just looked at the reporter and he walked off. But I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on with the Steelers. Of course, I figured they was going to lose this game. They really had no business being in the playoffs, to be honest with you, because they're a terrible team offensively, but they found a way to get in. Buffalo had a whole nother day to prepare for them. TJ Watt wasn't playing, of course, and this is exactly what I expected. I expected them to get beat down, maybe make a late run, maybe make a late comeback, but not come back at all. And it is what it is. And I'm not sad about it, not one bit. Goodbye, Steelers.
Cravante, real quick.
I Steelers any shot, and as the Steelers always do, Byron, like you always say, they don't go away. They don't go away. Had this to close to 7 points, where I think it was 24-17 for a time, but I didn't give them a shot to win this game. Just because the quarter, as long as Josh does not put the ball in harm's way, I think the Bills should roll, and they end up winning by 2 touchdowns. Josh Allen has shown, what he could be, the potential of what he could be. And now we get another matchup against him and Patrick Mahomes, two Goliaths, pretty much going at it. I believe the record is tied, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
but
it is.
But Patrick Mahomes has won the 2 games that matter. Two of the, I know 2 of the wins for Patrick Mahomes were both in the playoffs. So I know Josh Allen definitely wants some get back, and now this is unfamiliar territory for us guys. But Patrick Mahomes is on the road, so this is going to be interesting to watch in the divisional matchup between these 2 again. But it being at Orchard Field or Orchard Park, which was one of them. But it's going to be very interesting to see. But the Steelers, with Mike Tomlin. They just overachievers. That's what the fact that he got 10 wins out of this team with 3 quarterbacks is crazy. Crazy. And Mike Tomlin deserves his flowers for all of this. How dare you say he's on anybody's hot seat? The stuff that he's been doing with this organization. 17 years, not one losing season. And that's crazy. But nonetheless, I felt like they was overmatched. And the Bills rolled.
Go ahead, Trey. And if Tomlin is let go, he need to be the Cowboys coach. He ain't get them.
You know what's even more crazier? He's the longest tenured coach right now in the league.
Yes, he is now. Yep.
Like you said, I mean, you can't say it enough. And especially him being a brother, 17 seasons and not having one losing season yet. The record right now, I think he's 2 under Belichick, and I forgot. I want to say it's Shula maybe who might have that record at 21. But man, the Steelers, how loyal they are. They're not going to get rid. They would be fools to get rid of Mike Tomlin. I mean, like you said, every year an overachiever with this roster. The defense has always kind of been right in the mix. It's just the offense is of late just been it's been questions with that. And then honestly, they have some questions too that they got to face in the offseason about their quarterback position. Kenny Pinkett, what is it really on him? Is it on the offensive coordinator? Who's it on? And then Mason Rudolph coming in there and then basically, taking the job from you from the last couple of weeks. And they started, it seemed like the Steelers just had a late start. They tried to make it a little bit of a close game. And then you see them missing TJ Watt because that could have possibly been a real difference maker in that game. Because I was waiting for Josh Allen to turn the football over a couple of times, but surprisingly he didn't. He did seem like he was Superman out there today, but the game. I mean, the game was what we kind of figured it would be. The Steelers, like I said, made a run in the end, but I mean, I think we really have to, like you said, give Mike Tomlin his flowers right now because that's a coach of the year candidate. I mean. Despite everything, because that team, like you said, had no business being in the playoffs. That team had no business even sniffing the playoffs. Everything that they've endured offensively throughout the year, but yet this is a defensive coach who manages some way somehow to get it done. I know that this is going to be the talked about match all week. With the Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen matchup. So, everybody is going to be on, like I said, a lot of riding this weekend until this game happens. But whoever, why you make that face, Raj? I didn't hear you.
No, I said you said a lot of riding, so I just had to.
Oh, well, we both know as people like Chris Collinsworth, Tony Romo, Boomer Esiason.
Romo will be doing the game, by the way, I believe. That's on CBS. They'll be doing the game.
Look, I mean, he's my boy, but Colin Cowherd is going to be a lot of people out there just talking about this particular matchup all weekend.
Mike Florio.
Oh my gosh!
Where you trying to hear from him, yo?
So the list could just go on and on about how people are going to be all talking about this matchup.
Y'all boy Stephen A. Gonna be riding too with his cowboy hat. He gonna be riding too. Him and Shay Shay. They're gonna be riding each other all week.
But I mean, look, it is what it is. I want the Ravens to win this weekend, and we should win this weekend.
Is the quarterbacky chick gonna come out as well too?
You said what?
The quarterbacky chick gonna come out as well too? To say something?
Back.
Oh, good question. I don't know. But what I do know is that whoever the Ravens face in the next round, hopefully the riding can stop after that, because I want them to shut whoever it is up. I don't give a damn if it's the Bills or the Chiefs, either one. If the Ravens can beat one of them two teams, I will be glad and happy, because they will stop to, well, I mean, they'll still probably try to talk about Lamar Jackson some way, somehow. But at that point, it's like, nah, he done beat the best of the best, quote unquote.
Well, let's get to you real quick, Drake, because you are a Philly guy. The city of brotherly love is like your second home. They get demolished. They quit. They didn't even show up 32-9. I mean, how you feeling, Dre? And Jeff Lurie was sitting there looking like this. How Jerry Jones was.
Jerry Jones.
I mean, Dre, how you feel about these Eagles, man?
I mean, Byron, you're the only one that picked the Eagles, man. You thought that this was the last hurrah.
I was wrong. The opposite of what I say, America.
I could see that this team just wasn't the same team. It's just crazy how they go from being in the Super Bowl, seeming like the favorite to get back to the Super Bowl and win it, and then just the second half of the season just plummeted, man. I mean, and I think we got to raise a real question: who had the worst downward spiral? Was it the Dolphins or was it the Eagles? Because both teams were just set to make a huge playoff run, and both teams just sputtered out of control. I mean, Dolphins have an opportunity to get the number 1 seed. Eagles had the same opportunity, and then you lose to 49ers, you lose to the Cowboys. They even lost to the Seahawks like during that span. It was just like, come on, y'all. Like, Eagles, what are y'all doing? And I didn't realize that their defensive and offensive coordinators made that team so much. Usually we talk about head coaches, but to see that the coordinators mattered that much speaks volumes. I mean, granted, they're both doing fairly well with their respective head coaching jobs, but my gosh, I did not see that coming for the Philadelphia Eagles. Not at all. I think that to me is a surprise that this team did what they did, and they need to really look in the mirror, and they need new coordinators all around on both the offensive and defensive sides, because to struggle like that, I don't think it's really yes, it's a head coaching thing, but I don't put that onus as much on the head coach this time around. I'm giving a little bit of a leeway. He's young, and we're gonna, I think, still give him a chance. But the Philadelphia Eagles, man, you got a lot of eternal things to look into this offseason.
Go ahead, Raj, real quick.
I've been saying it all year, man. This team is not the same team. They were winning a lot of close games, and they were barely getting by. And now it has all caught up to them. Yes, they lost both of their coordinators. The coordinator position is definitely positions that need to be filled by the right people. But you got to put the blame on where the blame needs to be at, and it is the head coach. I'm sorry. Granted, he got him to the Super Bowl last year, but he completely lost his team this year. Completely lost it.
Exactly.
AJ Brown had no. I understand he's hurt, but he has no business going on Instagram, taking all of his Eagle stuff off, and being completely goofy when it comes to just things in general. I mean, he's been crying and acting a fool this entire season, and there was no end to it. So of course everything's gonna blow up in your face when things are not going right, when you're not winning close games, when you're having a bad time trying to get by. Of course, things are not gonna look right. So, did I expect them to win this game? Of course I didn't. I picked against them. They're a team that's in shambles right now. Ever since we talked to Corey and they won that Buffalo Bills game, they have not looked even remotely to the team that they
got to get Corey back on, man.
But it's disgusting, to be honest with you. It's very ugly, and don't be surprised if the coach is fired. Do not be surprised if they fire his ass.
Fire him.
Yes, fire him.
Nah.
When you lose the locker, trust me, when you lose the locker room, there is no coming back. Ask Brian Billick. He would know all about it when he lost the 2007 Baltimore Ravens locker room. Half of the locker room was split this way, and the up half was split that way. So of course they had to get rid of him. So what is it? WWE reference now? You're fired. Might as well play the sound bite, Byron. But but I'm just saying, man, it is what it is, man. I think the coaches lost the locker room with the Eagles, man. And I would not be surprised in the next week if he's gone. I wouldn't be surprised. And I wouldn't be surprised if A.J. Brown is gone too. So it might be some wholesale changes
On the coffin on the Eagles.
I absolutely agree wholeheartedly. Another name that you could have said, Raj, Pete Carroll.
Yeah.
Pete Carroll was another one. Listen, man, when you lose the locker room, whether it was a decision you made or you letting people get away with certain things or just your decision making as a whole, guys are not backing you, it will show and it will trickle onto the field. And once you lose the locker room, it's hard to get it back. Because one or two things got to happen. Either you get rid of the players or you get rid of the coach. And in Pete Carroll's case, they got rid of the players. They got rid of all the guys that was involved when that whole mishap happened after that Super Bowl that they threw away, literally and figuratively.
Hey yo, the name, bro.
But
why?
literally and figuratively thrown away. And it was nobody left from that roster, from that team. I think Bob Wagner left and came back or something like that. But everybody left because you can't play. You can't have any success in that type of environment. And I believe Nick Sirianni is in a similar environment. I heard Jalen Hurts' leadership qualities are in question. A.J. Brown has a problem with Jalen Hurts. It's so much. The defensive coordinator got play calling duties taken away from him, and they had Patricia calling plays. Used to be fired from that. That Matt Patricia calling plays. Are y'all serious?
There you go.
But yeah, so shout out to Shane Steichen and shout out to Nick Gannon because they seem like they was the guys really running this team. And Nick Gannon, I don't know, even though the Cardinals still overall wasn't a great team, you see the fight. You see the fight in the Cardinals. And they beat the Cowboys and the Eagles this year.
Yeah!
There you go, Byron.
Should be. And Shane Steichen was one win away from getting into the playoffs. Unfortunately, he lost to the Texans, which seems like it wasn't. It ain't no big deal. There's nothing to sneeze at nowadays. But like I said, Raj, I agree. He lost the locker room, and good luck, especially in Philadelphia. Good luck getting it back.
Let's quickly go game ball, not so game ball. Raj, I'm gonna start with you. Recap from the weekend. Who stood out?
Woo, my not so game ball. Sad to say, has to go to Joe Flacco, man.
Oh, Fluco?
Yes, Joe Fluco, Dre. It has to go to him. He had the whole city of Cleveland riding for him. This is they felt so good about having him, and he was going. He was going to save their season and win playoff games.
It was a homecoming, right?
It's homecoming.
Yep.
And then he goes out there and he just looks like some straight up ass. So, yeah, he has to get my not so game ball, man, for just looking like a joke. Even though that's my boy, I love him. But my game ball, I was going to give it to this guy, but I'm gonna give it to Mr. Love, man. I gotta give it to Mr. Love. My goodness, man. Mr. Love did his thing out there against the Cowboys, bro. I love that. Man, I'm praying that Lamar has a game like that this Saturday. Please have a game like that, Lamar. But Jordan Love did his thing, man. I mean, I did not expect him to do that. I mean, CJ Stroud, you could see he might do that, and that's why I picked him. But I didn't think Jordan Love was going to do what he did against the Cowboys the way he did it. My goodness, man. He showed everything. He showed poise. He showed maturity. He read the defense perfectly, and he made those throws crispy. I mean, so he gets my game ball, man, just for being great. Learning from Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. Being the next Packer great that he's going to be, and he's going to get a payday. You can't get mad about a brother getting a payday. He going to get that payday.
Drizzy Dre.
We start low and aim high. So my not so game ball is actually gonna go to I'm gonna say the Dolphins. Because the Dolphins and one of the shows I like watching is Speak on FS1. And James Jones was saying that they lost the game.
Is it because of Joy Taylor?
Partly. But there was a story. There was a story that James Jones had told about when being a Packer. Can't believe this, but he said that there was a game against the Bears, and he said it felt like negative, like 27 out there. He said as soon as they got off the bus, he knew that they were going to lose that game, and that's how it was with the Dolphins. They probably felt that cold, and you can see that they didn't want to catch. They didn't want to tackle. They didn't want to play the game of football at all. Them Florida boys, Paul stupid, man.
That's right, Paul. That's right.
And you know what? I don't blame them. If you from a warm weather city, you don't want to be out there in that cold. It hurts it hurts a little more when you get slammed on that concrete. Basically, that's not grass, ladies and gentlemen. That is concrete. And when it's that cold, I don't care how many thermals, how much Under Armour, whatever you put on. That is no North Face in the world. No amount of that is going to be able to protect you from the Hawk. The Hawk was real that night. So the Dolphins, they just didn't show up at all. So disappointment, but we kind of figured this would happen. But damn, I thought just a little more out of them. And my game ball, of course, you gotta let me shout out my boy, the knee biter. Dan Campbell, he's got the Lions poised. We could see that from game one that this was going to be a different season for the Detroit Lions when they beat the at the time. Well, I mean they started. They're still in the playoffs. The reigning defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs, but you could just see from that game that this was going to be a different Lions team, and thus far it is. The Lions, like you said, Devontae, can possibly make it to the NFC Championship game, and it looks like they really have a shot to do it. So, shout out to what the Lions are doing right now, man. I'm really happy for my boy, the knee biter.
Start low and high.
Knee biters.
Cravante, baby.
So yeah, y'all already know. Start low in order to end high. It's the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Philadelphia Eagles just feel it's the Eagles, but it's like it's not just about this week. It's about since week 13 when this whole spiral thing started. Raj was talking about it earlier. They looked shady. How that Vikings looked that one year when they won 12 games and lost to the Giants. Lost to the Giants in the first round of the playoffs. That's how the Eagles looked this year. They wasn't dominating in any game. Listen, you beat the Commanders by a touchdown in both games. 7 points. As bad as we were. Both times. 7 points. One game went to overtime. Oh no, matter of fact, was that 3 points? I think the first game was 3 points. But anyway, and they limped into the playoffs. And they were wounded coming into the playoffs, and they got punched in the mouth by, of all people, Baker Mayfield, led Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And they just been spiraling with everything that could go wrong, did go wrong, and continue to go wrong. From the head coach, head coach decisions, quarterback leadership qualities, diva wide receiver. It was just all bad, and it all off the field stuff trickled to on the field, and that's how you lose in the first round of the playoffs. And you already know it's got to be my boy C.J. Stroud. You know what I'm saying? That's my guy, C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud and the Texans, they are balling right now. Too young to know or understand what they're doing. They're just out there having fun, having a good time. And C.J. Stroud having a damn near, perfect game, similar to Jordan Love. 157.2.3 rating. Damn near perfect.
That's your game ball, not so game ball, everybody. Let us know your standouts and duds of Wildcard weekend. Let's get to these picks real quick. I got the schedule, and we're going to get the goofies and get out of here. We have on Saturday kicking things off at 4:30 at the bank. Texans come to face the number 1 seed Baltimore Ravens. That is on ESPN and ABC. I'm going with the Ravens, as you guys know. How you guys looking on this one?
Pick the Ravens. I heard him said it earlier. Like I said before, if they don't get this job done, man, it's going to be ugly for Lamar. Ugly. So they have to win.
Lamar, you do not want to be what Dak Prescott is right now. So he has to get it done. We said from the beginning, we didn't even say Super Bowl with this team. We said they have to make it to the AFC Championship game at least. That's the bare minimum for all the offseason acquisitions that they did, from him getting the contract, the offensive coordinator, the new offensive pieces. AFC Championship game at least right now. Lamar Jackson, get it done, baby. We got faith in you. This show has been riding for you. Get it done. The time is now.
Absolutely agree with Raj and Dre. Agree 100%. Guys, to get it done. Put that hot Houston Texans fire out. It's gonna be cold enough.
Damn sure is.
8 p.m. on Fox. Green Bay travels to the 49ers. This should be a good game. I think this will be a close one.
Oh, yeah. But, I still got the 49ers, though.
I'm picking the 49ers as well. Jordan Love is going to put up a good game, though. I don't see this brother tailing off at all.
Rashawn. What up, man?
Rashawn, brother, we're praying for you, my guy. We don't need to pray for the Cowboys. You got the Ravens, man. Root for the winning team.
Yeah.
Screw them Cowboys.
Rashawn, look, man. My apologies, my good brother. I should have told you I was going to make a video, but Shannon Sharp just, provoked me, and he was speaking to me. He was like, Raj, go ahead and make a video about the Cowboys. A Cowboys fan. Just go out there and make a video. So you say, I see, what, Unc? I'm going to do that. I'm going to make a video. I'm going to put my man Rashawn on the thumbnail, and I'm going to address him, and I'm going to tell that brother, much love to you. I know you made that trip out there, the Cowboys land, but sorry for you, my good brother. I'm sorry.
Hey, look, he was out there before the game. He was on the field. He was at the press conference podium.
He was living
after the game. He was, he was going out telling people to get five, running down on Jerry Jones. Damn near, man. Rashawn, you just had a bevy of emotions that day.
Thank you, Rashawn. Thank you for reposting it, my good brother. I appreciate you, man. But don't worry, bro. Like we said, we got the Ravens this week. Hopefully you're at the game on Saturday. So we're gonna get this W for your Cowboys, man. We're gonna get this W for your Cowboys.
Hey, Rashawn, tell Trippy holler at us, man. We're trying to get him on the show. We need you back on the show as well. And no more Patron bottles at M&T Bank. We don't need you drinking that clear, brother. Get you in trouble. I'm going with the 49ers.
Pat Ron.
They're right.
I'm going with the 49ers as well.
That'll be 49ers. Jordan Love, just don't turn the ball over. You never know. Keep it close to the end. Anything can happen. But I am going to go with the 49ers.
All right, let's get it. Sunday, 3 p.m. Buccaneers Lions on NBC. Interesting time slot.
I already told you where I'm going to go. The knee biters.
Yep. I'm with Dre too. I'm going with the Lions. I wouldn't be surprised if the Buccaneers won, but I'm going to roll with the Lions.
I'm actually going with the Buccaneers. I'm going with the Buccaneers. That's my upset of the weekend. Going with the Buccaneers. Their defense is really good. And Baker. I think Baker's better than Jared Goff. I think we give Jared
Yeah.
Goff a lot of love. I think Baker's showing he's number one pick. I mean, him and Jared Goff, 2 of the 5 quarterbacks to win playoff games with multiple teams. I believe Peyton Manning's on that list. Others. So they're in rare air.
Tom Brady.
Tom
Tom
Brady.
Brady.
Oh, yeah, of
Brett
course.
Favre.
Can't forget about the GOAT. Appreciate that, Rashawn. Yeah, let him know, man. We're trying to get in contact with him to get him on the show. We want to get his perspective, man, and get you back as well. So appreciate that, man. Tell him to holler at us or tell us the best way to get in contact with him. We'll make that happen. Hopefully, as we get ready for a Super Bowl run. And then on Sunday.
Carvante, you had who, the Lions or the 49ers? I mean, sorry, Lions or Bucks?
Yeah, I got the Lions.
Okay.
And then on Sunday night, 6:30, and I think this game should be the primetime game, Chiefs Bills on CBS. Romo will be there riding both of these quarterbacks. And Jim Nance, hello, friends. Yeah.
Oh my god. I'm going to roll with. Believe it or not, I'm gonna roll with the Chiefs, man. I think the Chiefs.
Bible Chiefs.
I think the Chiefs find a way to beat the Bills. I think Josh Allen is going to turn into the turnover machine that he's been all season, and I think that Chiefs defense is going to eat. So I'm rolling with the Chiefs on this one. I think. Oh, and Pat Mahomes was his first road game.
Yeah, this is his first road playoff home game.
That's crazy.
I'm sorry, first road playoff game.
Yep.
That is crazy. Yep, I'm going with the tribal chief as well. Patrick Mahomes, I know it's been a rough year. It's been a rough year with the receiving core that he's been dealt with, and they have been underperforming, very underwhelming. But like Raj said, I think Josh Allen, he not gonna have too many back-to-back games like that, back-to-back, clean games like that, So unfortunately, it would have to be at home in front of Bills Mafia. But if anybody could do it, I think it'd be Patrick Mahomes.
I'm going with the Bills. I don't know. This just seems like either, like I said, either one I'm rooting for Lamar to face, but I just keep thinking in my head about when Lamar, I felt like in that second half of the last playoff game that he was a part of when he had the concussion, that I felt like Lamar had a chance to start coming back, and he just got knocked out the game. That's part of my element. That's a little part of why I'm picking him, but also I think the Bills just seem to be catching fire, while the Chiefs, you can't count out the Chiefs, but the Bills just seem like they're on fire right now. And sometimes when a team is just hot like that, they just keep riding that flame until about that conference championship game. So I'm gonna go with the Bills because of that.
To make it a quick little WWE reference, we actually had CM Punk calling out Cody Rhodes on social media. So it looks like they're going to have a face-to-face next week. And, the story in IWC is about, is Cody going to finish his story? It looks like The Rock and Roman is not happening at Elimination Chamber because Roman might not even be there. Raj, we know you love that. But we know Cody wants to finish.
We all loving it. WrestleMania, baby. Philly, let's go.
We want Cody to finish the story. He's been talking about it for 3 years. He might not finish his story, but the Ravens are going to finish their story because they're going to get the tribal chiefs, Raj. And all those weeks ago, I called him out. I called my shot like Babe Ruth at the plate, hitting the home run in the World Series. And the Ravens are going to face the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. The matchup we've wanted since 2019 at the bank. Should have got it then. We'll get it now. And that Rashee Rice, Cravante. I know we don't know about him a lot at the receiver position, but he is emerging into a number one receiver. I remember him at SMU when they beat Maryland. He is just a very good receiver, and I'm glad he's getting it with Mahomes. I think they're going to have something. Because I think Kelsey, and I think we've seen Jason Kelsey, his brother, could be his last game. He was doing his little retirement lap around the stadium. He's crying. Travis Kelsey is getting a little long in the tooth. Not saying he's done, but the Taylor Swift goofiness, he ain't as fast as he used to be. But I think Rashee Rice can carry the load. And Pacheco in that defense, Spagnuolo does a great job. I think we're gonna get Ravens Chiefs. Give me the Chiefs.
So you think it'll be swag surfing in Buffalo?
God.
It's gonna be like,
Oh God.
No, actually, I want Taylor Swift to step foot in Baltimore. You Negroes, you niggas in Baltimore, do your job. You know what to do. You niggas do your job. You know what to do.
Make
you know
her
where to,
uncomfortable.
Look, you know where to find her. You know where she'll be staying. You internet sleuths and detectives, do your job. I know you can find her where she'll be. You can harass her on her way into the stadium. Trippy, Rashawn, Raj, all you people that are at the game, the Jimmy's Family's tailgate, all those wonderful people down there. Do your job. Do what you do best. Be Baltimore and make her very uncomfortable, like Cavante said. And
Very
you
comfortable.
know, if you gotta pull out a few weapons on her while she's here, just to
Hey yo,
no, we
no,
don't.
we do not condone that part.
no.
like
Damn,
our boy,
Memphis Byron.
like our good friend Anton says, man. Brandon Scott, I know you got a newborn child, but if you want to step out too and help out, some Park Heights Negroes that want to, do a good deed for the city and help us reach the Super Bowl. I'm just saying.
Not Tate coming out.
Well, Anton was in a very happy mood because the Detroit Lions have finally won a playoff game. So non-violent, Anton.
And the Detroit Pistons actually did this tonight.
Come on now, say it with me. Everybody beats the Wiz.
That's
after they just traded with each other yesterday, which is weird. It's just goofiness all around.
Very, very goofy.
Who would have thought that the Commanders would be less goofy than the Wizards at this point in time?
This is crazy.
Grant, you ready to get goofy, brother? Let's bring him up.
Come on, let's do it.
Time for Gravante's Goofies of the Week after a viral Goofy of the Week last week. Let's see how Gravante follows it up. It's 2024. We're off to a high start.
Of course. Something wrong here.
Well, now that's goofy.
Welcome. Good people, welcome to Goofies of the Week. Oh, you got the I'm about to say, oh snap. We running it back, B. Welcome to Goofies of the Week, sponsored by the Flex Zone. Appreciate you guys for giving me a little bit of time. And let me tell the good people what I thought was goofy this particular week. It's a lot to choose from. It's a whole lot to choose from. But I'm gonna try my best to keep it short. For the sake of time. Dre coming in all late, so now the show had to run a little bit longer. But I do have a couple goofies for you guys. My levels of goofiness. We have a low level goofy where we laugh at, we kiki, we have a good time with, in the hopes that it does not become a higher level goofy in which we have to have a legit conversation about and figure out what's wrong and how we make this goofy situation less and less goofy. So I'm going to cover a couple goofies right now, and this is where we're going to start. This, and it's funny that Dre said this. One of the first things he said when he came on. What is up with Super Wildcard Weekend? I don't understand. What is up with all these blowouts, man? This is supposed to be the playoff. This is when the best of the best come together, and we see some really good football for 3 days. We had Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And even though Rod said he don't like Saturday, well, I don't think he likes Saturday games for the Ravens, but 3 legit days. And of the 6, how many games? 6 games that we had one good one. One good one. And there was Mr. Kneecap Biter himself pulling out the W against the LA Rams, against Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford and the LA Rams. It was a phenomenal game. It went down to the wire. But the rest of them games, trash, and more trash. I don't know what we have to do. And you know what I'm scared for, Byron, is that this is how the college football playoffs is going to look. I think this is how the college football playoffs is going to look when we go to 12. When we go to 12 teams, this unfortunately is how it's going to look. But shout out to the Packers being the first 7 seed to win a playoff game, taking down the number 2 seeded Dallas Cowboys, who were heavy. I believe they were a touchdown and a half favorite. I want to say the spread was 7.5.
7.5. Yeah.
Heavy favorites and losing heavily. So trash. And that goofy takes me into the next goofy. Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys, the number 2 seed. Matter of fact, I'm a tag team this. The Dallas Cowboys and oh my gosh, my gosh, Eagles and the Cowboys. Yes, how'd you know, Byron? Yes, I'm tag team in this one. The Dallas
I'm in
Cowboys
your head, brother. I'm in your
and
head.
and the Philadelphia Eagles, 2 very, very clown teams this particular year. The Eagles they were 10-1 at one point, and that one loss was crazy because it was against the Jets. Excuse me, but they were 10-1 through like the first 12 weeks. And then all of a sudden it just unravels. And of all teams, the accident waiting to happen Cowboys walked the Eagles down, walked them all the way down, and stole the NFC East championship from the Eagles in the final couple weeks. Walked them down. They was 10 wins in the first 12 weeks. They had 10 wins, and they unraveled. And looked like, the Cowboys came up. They won a division, number 2 seed, a home game. They don't lose at home, guys. They don't lose at home. They haven't lost in 17 games or whatever the amount of games was that they won, at A&T Stadium, the $1 billion playpen. So Dallas first game, playoff game. All right, the Packers come to town. Cool. They favored 7.5. I thought it was a bit much. 7.5 though. Touchdown and a half. And they proceed to get trounced. To get mentally, physically, offensively, defensively, special teams, coaching, defeated. Just whooped. Give me the sound. Give me the sound, Byron. Wait, there it is. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. This is the first half, y'all.
I'm about to go rob something. Y'all know me. I'm dangerous.
I had it right.
Jordan Love robbed the Cowboys of an opportunity. Oh no, I guess he didn't rob them of anything because they were the Cowboys. The Cowboys do Cowboy things, but they came in and Jordan Love and them boys definitely came in and robbed the Cowboys of an opportunity to be the Cowboys in what I thought would be the divisional round. They would be the Cowboys. They robbed us of the opportunity of the Cowboys being the Cowboys in the divisional round. Instead, it happened 1 week sooner in the Super Wildcard weekend in the territory with the Cowboys that the Cowboys just have not. They've had a lot of success. And 1995 was the year. I'll go all the way back. 1995 was the year. The last bit of glory that the Cowboys have seen. And that was the last time they advanced beyond the divisional round and have not been back since. Listen, I don't think the Cowboys understand what they're doing to these 2 Caucasian men. I don't think they understand. And Jerry Jones and Jimmy Johnson. He's sick of it. Absolutely sick of it. Byron, do you have any pictures? Do you have any pictures of Jerry Jones or Jimmy Johnson? Because
Yes, I actually, if you would indulge me, I have the Jimmy Johnson by request halftime pep talk that was played courtesy of the NFL on Fox.
Whoa, don't play. Copyright. Don't play.
Oh, it's on Twitter. I can't play it on Twitter or X.
Play the sound. Just play the sound bite. That's it.
All right, let me see if I can do the sound. Hold on.
out of town.
You know what?
And that's right. We got Raj. Keep us on point. Because listen, Jimmy Johnson was red. The score was 27. It was 27-0. They jumped on him, and the Cowboys mustered up a touchdown towards the end, so it's 27-7. And Jimmy Johnson proceeded to take over, like on some "Where's my camera at?" Looked dead in the camera and said, "Was red, be red, and said, basically said in so many words, get your butt in gear. Y'all have an opportunity. Get back into this game. They're not betting you guys. Get back into the game." And it didn't matter. The Packers continued to trounce the Cowboys. And me, as a fan, I loved it. As a Commanders fan.
Now on television.
But
I'll just say this. Every single one of you, you know how hard we've worked. I don't need to have people pointing the fingers one thing or another. You get your rear end in there and you play the way you know how to play. We can win the game. We're going to open it up. We're going to go fast tempo. Defense, get after Jordan Love. You can't give him that much time. You do what you're supposed to do, we'll win this game. All right.
Had Michael Strahan ready to go back out there. You understand? Had Michael Strahan ready to go back out there. You understand? Yeah. Pow. 1, 2, pow.
He really was ready to go out there. He got in the 3-point stance.
He got to do everything like, yo, I'm about to go get him. That's what Michael Strahan said. I'm about to go get him. Jimmy Johnson is usually even killed when it comes to talking about the Cowboys. He's usually even
He's
killed.
in the Ring of Honor now. You gonna see that button getting a little loose.
Yeah.
Coming out the jacket.
Listen, man, he was sick of it. He's like, God damn it, they ain't won nothing since me. That's all he was missing. That's all he was missing with him saying they ain't won nothing since me.
Hey, Karate, you want to hear something goofy? Hire
up?
Jimmy Johnson to come back.
Listen, we put him in the Ring of Honor. We ain't doing all that. Jerry Jones like, hey, I put you in the Ring of Honor. It took me a while to get here. To get here.
That's goofy.
Absolutely. But it would only be right. But Jimmy Johnson's like, man, I'm tired. I'll just talk about it. But my gosh, Jimmy Johnson was red. And of course, they kept showing Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones was just sick of it all. Just sick of it all. That was them. Yep. That's the Cowboys. Yep. Super duper cowboy choke artists. And Jerry Jones was in the skybox, sick of it all. He was in the press conference. I can't even get the words out. So sick of it. Could not get the words out. Y'all gonna put that Caucasian man into an early grave. Y'all gonna put him into an early grave to the way y'all playing. All this investment he put into this damn team. And y'all giving this product? Absurd. Goddamn, that's a ticket. Goddamn. That should have been a pink slip. That should have been a pink slip from McCarthy. God dog. Sick of it. Nothing. Nobody was happy. It was.
Why look like you playing spades though?
That's what would be the big joker. Come on. But instead of the big joker, he was just throwing off. That was a 3 club. He wasn't doing nothing with that. I'm out of here. Shout out to Omar Epps, aka Mike Tomlin. Get up out of there. That's what Jerry Jones wanted to do. That's what Mike McCarthy wanted to do. And I'm sure that's what Dak Prescott and the Autumn Cowboys, Micah Parsons, Stephon Gilmore, that's what they all wanted to do. Just leave. Get up out of there. But you know what? 1, 2, 3 Cancun was on since the first damn quarter. And the Packers did not let their foot. They let their foot off the gas a little bit, like in the fourth quarter, because it was 40-16 at one point. I remember There it is. Every year. Same year. I mean, same deal. Every year, same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing. But yes, those are my goofies. Goofies of the week. You know, we had some terrible football in reality. Dre, shout out to Dre for pointing that out. Terrible football. All but one out of 6 games, we had one good game. All other games were multiple touchdown differences. The Rams and the Lions was the only one that went down to the wire and was the most exciting. Cowboys and the Eagles. Listen, man, as a Commanders fan, y'all know I'm eating this up. As we getting our GM and our front office together, I'm eating this up. Cowboys and the Eagles look terrible. And the Eagles, at least the Eagles have looked terrible for like the past probably about 6 weeks or so. And the Cowboys, right on cue. Maybe I guess I could say they're a week early, but right on time in January. The Cowboys will always continue to be the doggone Cowboys. They do Cowboys things. They can't help it. I love to watch it. Y'all love to watch it. Let's get our popcorn ready because the same thing. It's like watching the Titanic every year. We all know what happens in the Titanic, that long 33-hour movie. We know what happens. It's like watching the Titanic every year in January. That's the Cowboys. I'm done, man. Y'all know my line. There's a thin line between goofy and great, and them organizations and them teams on the wrong side of it. Got to do better.
Of course. Something wrong here.
Well, now that's goofy.
Thank you for that goofy of the week, Cravante, baby. And that brings us to the end of episode 423. Dre, real quick before I get your preview of episode 424, Nick Saban, he is out of here. He gone.
Slick Saban.
Hey, Nick, did you have one more roll tide in you? I know you and Raj both have one. Did you want to send them off the right way with the roll tide?
Man, for the great Nick Saban, Slick Saban, and funny, ESPN actually had, speaking of Slicksters, they had Ric Flair on there. Slick Rick and Slick Saban, man. What a week, baby. Yeah, one last time for the road. Ready on?
Let's get it, baby.
Tide.
There you go. Only for you, Nick Saban. Only for you.
I had to get that soundbite for you guys, but Drizzy Dre, episode 422 and 423 in the books.
Yeah.
Episode 424 next week. We'll be sure talking about these divisional games and of course the Ravens. But Dre, I know it's a Saturday night, but I know you'll be watching the Ravens. Will you be joining myself and Roger for the post-game show? The world wants to know. They want Dre on the post-game for the playoffs.
You know what? I might be able to try to squeeze something in.
Hey, brother, you know, it's only, you know, when the lights shine the brightest, we go to you, brother. Episode 4.
And then also the Royal Rumble, too. We talked about finishing the story, yeah.
Yes, we're going to get that out to you guys probably in the next week, as the Royal Rumble is a week from this weekend. So, not this weekend coming up, but in 2 weeks. So, we're almost at the Royal Rumble, which is crazy to think about. Anything special for episode 424? I know we're working on some guests as well, Dre.
Yeah, still working on who's going to be on, but we'll make it happen.
Cravante, baby. How you feeling, man? Commanders may have a coach soon.
Magic Johnson smile.
There we go.
So let's get right.
All is going well. There it is. All is going well. It's as soon as the Lions find their way on the losing side, Ben Johnson will soon be the head coach thereafter.
We'll keep updated on all the Commanders' news as well. And Big Rod, last but not least, man, you were a busy man this past week. A lot of videos. Like I said, you was in the car, you was out the car, you was in the house, you was up late, up early. My boy.
Hey man, I was doing a lot this week. You know, just trying to try different things. Like I said before, last night's video with Rashawn was something that was not planned, but just decided to do. And then this morning, watching Stephen A. Smith act a complete fool, I had to get that on camera. So if you haven't seen it, check those videos out. They're out there as well. But there'll be more content coming during the week. I might even make another car video. Who knows? But we shall see what happens on the world of sports. Somebody's going to say something stupid. I already know some idiot out there is going to say something dumb about Lamar Jackson. I have a feeling. And if they do, your boy is on it. So check out.
Good.
So check it out. I'm on the case. AEW Dynamite on Wednesday. Some other things coming up as well. The post game show for the Ravens on Saturday. And we're gonna keep it moving. This is what we do.
And everybody be safe out there. Anybody that's in this weather, man.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys spending your snowy Monday evening. I know a lot of people have delays tomorrow or canceled outright, so we appreciate you staying up late with us as you normally do, but a little bit later tonight as we were all trying to get our lives together. People trying to get home from work, and it's crazy. It's slick out there. If you don't have to go out, please don't go out. It's your Flex Zone forecast. But executive producer, Andre Melton, senior producer, Cravante Hurd, captain of the Goofy Ship, and social media producer, Big Raj. He talked about the Jason Whitlock, Stephen A. Smith. He talked about the Cowboys. He talked about the Ravens. He talked about Lamar Jackson. He talked about a lot this week. So make sure you check out the shorts, check out the videos, watch the videos, hit the like button, hit the bell, hit the like button if you haven't done this already. And if you want to donate, you can hit that Cash App, the Flex Zone 1 on Cash App. It's on your screen right now. Episode 424 is coming up this Monday, a week from today. But before then, we got a Ravens preview this week against the Texans. We know when and where they play and who they play. And we have AEW on Wednesday, getting ready for the Royal Rumble. We probably have some wrestling content. We're going to talk about this Rock Cody situation. We're going to talk about maybe things we want to see at the Rumble. We got a lot of videos on the channel. We did a booking video this week with my boy Dylan talking about the Royal Rumble. And I may do some more Royal Rumble content. Maybe I'll predict all 30 men and women in the Royal Rumble. Have a little fun with it. See how many I get right. A lot of rumors about people returning and debuts and things of that nature. And as I mentioned, CM Punk calling out Cody Rhodes next week. So we'll talk about that as well. And no, gender did not win the world title. Apparently it was terrible. As terrible as you thought it was going to be, Roger. But everybody in the chat, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for all the support. We'll be back again next week and throughout the week with more content. Hit the bell. Make sure you subscribe, leave us a comment, and hit that like button. For Dre, Cravante, and Raj, we're signing off, everybody. Stay safe. Have a good night. We'll see you real soon, as early as tomorrow, with some clips from this episode and much more. Only place Give Me Sports. How you want it, fellas?
When you need it.
I hope your ones acknowledge the head of this sports podcast table, because we show up each and every week. We gone, y'all. Have a good night, everybody. Stay safe. We'll see you tomorrow and throughout the week with more content, and next Monday, episode 424, and Ravens post game Saturday evening as well.
I'm about to go rob something. Y'all know me. I'm dangerous.